Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to my course. In this course, we will learn something called phasing animation or the construction animation. There's a very huge demand of this type of animation, and you can sell your services on Fiverr and Upwork.com. Okay, to start the animation, let's download the animation node add-on from the official website. After downloading the add-on, let's install it. Go to the preference, then add-on, and let's install it. Installing the add-on, make sure that the animation node is checked. This box is checked. I already have downloaded the model from the 3D warehouse. Okay, and let's import it into the Blender. To import the SketchUp model into Blender, we need a add-on called the SketchUp import. The latest version is 0.22.4. So you can download this from the GitHub official site. For downloading the SketchUp importer, let's install it. Make sure this box is checked. Press A, select all and delete these boxes. Now when you go to the import, you will see the import SketchUp scene option here. Okay, after importing your model into Blender from the SketchUp, you have to select all and right click and make shade plate. So this step is import. Okay, I already have set up the basic scene. So the first step is to organize these elements into a separate collection. Like for the windows, I have a separate collection. And for the main buildings, I have another collection. And for the roof tile and as well as for the furniture in whole environment. If you don't know how to create these collections, just select the elements you want to keep in one collection and then press N and then create collection. So it's very simple. After this, press A, right click and set the origin to geometry. After this, we need to uh, all transform the location rotation to 0, then press Ctrl plus A and all transform. If you see this error, it's mean that you cannot apply this command to multiple users, okay, multiple objects. So to convert this to a single user, click on the object in relations and then make it a single user, object, data, and material. Now press Ctrl plus A and all transform. So you will see the location and rotation and transformation is set to 0. Now we have to create an ID key, press N to show this panel and then select all, create new ID key. I will give it a name house. You can give it any name you want, okay, then press OK. Then hide the previous ID we have and then from current transforms and then select this again. Okay, now it's time to create the wireframe animation from the main building. So I will hide the other collections so we can understand the process. Now select all the objects inside the main building collection and then press Ctrl plus J. Now press M and bring them into the scenes collection. Delete the main building collection because we don't need this further. Now select these and then press Ctrl plus J. Now I will rename this as a main building and then duplicate this by pressing Shift plus D and give them a name wireframe. Now hide the main building. Select the wireframe building and then add a modifier wireframe. Okay, turn off this even and you can change the thickness from here. Apply the modifier and then go to material. Remove the previous material if there is any. Create new material and then go to surface and base color I will give it some green color. Okay. The next step is to create a cube. Make sure the cube cover the whole building. Okay. Now select the cube and go to the properties and then viewport display, and display is a wire. Now select the main building and add another modifier called boolean. Now set this as a intersect and select the object cube and then solver to first. Now as you will see that as this cube pass through the building, so it will appear and then disappear. Okay, so how this work? Okay, so we will set a keyframe for this, bring it here and press I, create one keyframe here and then go to 40 and then create another keyframe here. So okay, let's see. Okay, same. Now I will hide this and unhide the main building and send process for this also. Okay, select the cube, then go to the object properties and display as a wire. Now select the main building and add a modifier boolean. Okay, same process for both, and then select intersect and object, cube is object. Okay, and then click past. Now let's see if this pass through the building, so it will appear and then it disappear. Okay, so I will create one keyframe here and then go to 40 and then click here and create another keyframe here. Now unhide the wireframe and cube. So let's see. Okay, let's adjust the keyframe. Okay, select the second cube. Okay, and adjust the keyframes. Okay, after the wireframe animation and animating the main building, now it's time to animate these windows. For this, I will use the add-on called animation node, as we have already installed the add-on in the first video. So let's split the screen here and open the animation node editor. Now press N to hide this panel and then press Shift plus A and bring the object collection info and click here and open the Windows collection. Now we need the objects matrix output. Connect these with each other. Now bring the ID key here and connect this with each other. If you see, we have created the house ID in the second video. So let's choose the ID. Then press Shift A and matrix offset and connect these matrices with each other. If you see, I changed the value on the z-axis, the whole collection location has been changed. Okay, so if you see, you can check this your animation here. Now we need a fallout delay and connect this with the fallout. So if you see, we did not see any animation here. So let's bring a time, Control plus A, and search for time info and connect this with the time. So let's see the animation. Okay, so the problem is there that the objects go from the down to upwards. So let's invert this. So click here and then go to fallout and bring the inverter here. Okay, and let's see. You can change the duration and the time delay here also. And let's change the interpolation to quadratic, so the animation will be more smooth. Okay. Okay, for the roof tile, the process is same. We will just duplicate these trees and node tree, and we will change some value. Okay, before this, we will create a new ID key. So right click here on the roof tiles and select all. Then press Ctrl plus A and Alt transform to deltas. Then right click here and set the origin to center of mass surface. By selecting all these roof tiles, press N and hide these keys and create a new key, tiles. You click OK, and then from current transform. Okay, now duplicate this key by pressing Shift plus D and delete this 3 nodes. Okay, now bring a Shift A and bring a frame here, and let's frame this so we can differentiate the node tree later. We can also level it. Press N and level this window. Make sure for the tiles the auto execution is set to always. Okay, now change the value to 0. Click here and search for the roof tiles and choose the new ID tiles. Okay, now click here and bring another empty cube. Okay, press N and bring the empty to the scenes collection. Okay, now scale the empty. Make sure it cover the whole roof. Okay, click here and then press Ctrl plus A and bring another node core object, controller, fallout. Select this empty and click here on the eyedrop button and then connect these fallout. Okay, now click here on the scale also, convert the now change the scale to 0 and the rotation to 19. So you will see if this empty pass through the roof, so the tiles will appear. Okay, so we have to just set a keyframe for this empty, and that's it. So if you want the tiles appear from the upward, so you can change the location here. Okay, so let's scale it and create one keyframe for the location here and another keyframe here by pressing I location. Now let's save the file. hide this furniture for now, and let's see the full animation. Okay, it's look fine for me. Okay, so we have a problem here that these Windows elements fall down very earlier. I want the building animation is completed. After that, the windows fall because it's look very awkward here. So let's come here to the animation node editor, and actually we have the Windows node tree here. So press Shift plus A, and then go to animation, and then bring the delay here and drop it here. So I want the animation to be delayed for 50 frames. Okay, now let's see. So there's a delay for the 50 frames, and when the building completed, so it's fall down. So I think it's look very good now. So what's we have a problem here that the tiles animation start too early. So click here and adjust these keyframes as well. Okay. Now this looks perfect. Okay, as we have covered the main buildings, okay, now it's time to animate these exterior elements. So select these loungers, select these sofas and these settings. Okay, right click and set the origin to geometry. Now press Ctrl plus A and all transform to deltas. Okay, now I want to set the origin to the bottom. So let's hide this wall. Okay, and click here and select these launchers and turn on this origin. Select here, go to this view and then press GZ and bring the origin to bottom. Click here. So okay, bring the origin to bottom. Okay. Now press Alt H and hide these walls. Okay. Now press on this launcher. Make sure turn off this origin. Okay. Press N and select or click here on the scale and insert keyframe here. And let's go back to 140 and give it a value 00 and then right click and insert another keyframe here. Okay. So let's see it pop out from the origin. Okay. Now I want to give it a little effect. So click this keyframes and press T and then click on the day. Okay, I think it's fine. So I want to copy this animation to the other elements. So click here, select these elements. Make sure you select the animated and the last. Okay, so now lastly select this one and then press Ctrl plus L and link the animation data. So let's see. Okay, now you can adjust the keyframes here. Okay, now I want to pop out this after the tiles animation. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, that's fine. And let's say it's some plants, grass, and trees in the scene to make it more realistic. For the grass and plants, I use the Gscatter add-on. It's completely free, and you can download this from the official website. For the trees, I use the Botanic add-on. It's a pair add-on. If you don't want to buy this add-on, so you can download the 3D models from the 3D warehouse. You can find lots of trees and plants here, and then import this into Blender through the Blender, the SketchUp import add-on. After installing the Gscatter add-on, press N, so you will see the add-on panel here. Okay, so make sure this surface is in the scenes collection. Okay, now pick this surface and then click on the My Assets. So you will see free My Assets on grass and plants here. Okay, so I want this creepy grass. Okay, make sure it is in low quality because it will hang your computer. So scatter and click OK. Now you can change the density. I have created a camera to see it, and can also change the scale as well. I think the scale is okay. Okay, now create some plants. Select My Assets and here. Now I want this, okay, and click OK. So you can change the density and the scale here, as well as you can change the orientation and the other settings here. Okay, now I also want this to come out from the ground. Okay, so let's create one keyframe here. Press I, application, and then go back to 130, and then press G and Z, and then press I, create another location here. Okay, now press I here, create one keyframe here, go back, change the location, and then press I, and create another keyframe here. Okay, I want this to appear to the grass. So I think it's look better now. Okay, let's add some trees to the scene to make it more realistic. For this, I will use the Botanic Full add-on. If you don't have this add-on, you can download free model from the 3D warehouse. These are the models for the SketchUp, and then you can bring them into the Blender scene. Okay, now press 7 on the numpad, and then bring the 3D cursor over here by pressing Shift and mouse right click, and then click here on the span assets. For this scene, I will use this tree. Okay, right click here on the scale and insert keyframe here, and then go to 150 and change the value to 0. Insert keyframe, but at this time I want a little rotation also. So insert keyframe on the rotation, and then 190, and change the Z value to 90 degree and insert the keyframe. So let's see. I think this looks nice. Press 7 on the numpad for the top view and select this tree, and then press Shift plus R, sorry, Shift plus D to duplicate this, and then G, Y, and click here, and then press Shift plus R to repeat this process. Okay, let's see. Now let's add the HDRI and final texture to the model. For the HDRI and texture, I use the Polyhaven website. It's completely free. You can download free HDRI texture and models. So let's browse the HDRIs, and I will choose this Canon text HDRI. Download this from here, and then let's go to the shading and select the world, create new, and then press Shift A, and then bring the environment texture over here. Then open the HDRI we have just downloaded. Now connect the color with the surface, and then open this shading panel. Okay, if you see these boxes, so let's select this and hide this from here. Make sure you also hide the camera, so we will not see this during the render. Okay. For the texture, I use the free library from the Blender. So go to the preference and search for material library. So let's turn on this, okay, and you will see this here in the material library VFX. Okay, so let's apply this. I will click here on the surface and then press tab, select these, and then press P to separate this from the selection, and then press tab. Okay, now select this, and I'll remove the previous material and create new material, and then go to the material library, and I will apply this 1970 tiles. Okay, and then select apply to the selection. Okay, if you don't see, so click here. Okay, how you can add this material to the model. Okay, now let's see how we can use the Polyhaven texture. So I'll click here and download this texture. I already have downloaded this texture, so extract this in any folder, and then go to the preference. Make sure this node wrangler, search here and make sure it's checked. Okay, and then go to the shading, and click here on this surface in the object. Okay, if there is any material, you can remove and create a new material. Okay, if there is any material, click here on the principal shade and then press Ctrl plus T, and then in the extract folder, select all these, and then click here on the principles. So you will see you can directly import these textures into the Blender. Okay. Okay, now let's add material to these glasses. So let's select this window and then press tab, and make sure you selected this face, select these faces, and then click here in the material library, search for the fake glass and apply to the selection. Okay, so this window is double-sided, so select these also and apply to the selection.
Okay, let's create the water material for the swimming pool. So click here and remove the previous material, add new material, and add a texture, Musgrave texture, and add a vector bump. Connect the height with the height and normal with the normal. Now click here and press Ctrl T. Okay, and change the base color. Now increase the scale to 100 and also change this value. Let's change the scale here also. Increase the metallic and decrease the roughness and specular value and also the alpha value. Now let's see how it look. Okay, now let's add the camera movement for the final animation. So press Shift A and add a camera, and then press RG to bring this camera to the center of the origin of the work. Okay, and then press Shift A and add a curve, nerves curve. Okay, press 7 and scale this curve. Okay, and rotate this. Then click here on the camera and you will add a constraint, follow path, and make sure the target is selected, nerves curve. So now click here on the follow curve and animate. So as I play the animation, so the camera is following the path, but I want to target this building. So create another constraint, drag to. Okay, click here on the eyedrop option and click here on the surface. Press 0. Let's see. Okay. Now let's adjust the focal length. Click here on the camera and adjust the focal length. Okay, it's good. Okay for me. Okay, let's add the second camera. Press 0 and bring the 3D cursor over here, and then add a camera. Okay, then press R0. Press N and lock the camera view. Okay. Okay. Right click and insert the keyframes, location and rotation. And let's go to 180. Right click and insert keyframe, location and rotation. Okay, let's add the third camera. Press 0 and then bring the 3D cursor over here and add another camera. Click here on the camera, adjust the focal length. Right click and insert keyframe, location and rotation. It to 220. Right click and insert another location and return keyframe.
Okay, now let's see how we can switch to different angle on the different time. Okay, so let's go to frame 0, click on the first camera, click on the timeline, and then press M to add a marker, and then press Ctrl B. Okay, now click on the second camera and go to the frame 153 and press M and then press Ctrl B. Now let's click on the camera 3. So go to frame 182. So as it start moving, and then press M and then press Ctrl B. So you will see as it passes through these markers, so it will switch to different angle. Okay. Let's make the scene more brighter. So I will create one sun here and adjust the location. I will change the rotation also, the angle. Okay. And then click here on the object data property and increase the strength to 10. So you will see the scene is more brighter, and you can see the shadow also here. So for the final render, click here on the render property. Make sure the render engine is cycle and the device is GPU. Okay. For the sampling, you can increase this render to 100 and 100,000 depending on your computer. And for the light spots, make sure the total is 8. Okay, so it will reduce your render speed, but it will not affect your final output. Okay, and the transparency to 8, transmission to also 8. Okay, and click here on the performance, so you will see the auto tiles. So make sure it's turned on. Okay, if you don't have this auto tiles option here, you can search here on the add-on auto tiles and check this box. Okay, so you will see this auto tiles option here. So it will automatically calculate according to your computer speed. Okay, then click here on the output properties. Frame rates would be 24. Okay, and then click here on the output. I want to save my file in the video folder, so accept this, and the file format would be ffmpegv. Okay, and you can change the output quality to medium, low, and high depending on your computer. Okay, so let's render.